Feeling good.
All right. Holly can't make it, so I will call to order the April 11th, 2019 meeting of the HTFC Board. We have a quorum present with the chair and Mr. Valleja representing Ken Adams. Is there a motion to call to order the meeting of the Housing Trust Fund Corporation?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. The members will also be meeting in their capacity as members of the Audit and Governance Committee. Is there a motion to call to order the Audit and Governance Committee meetings?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the meeting held on March 7th, 2019. If there are no questions or comments, the minutes will be deemed approved. I should say through the course of today's meetings, we'll be using the motions and seconds unless any board member wishes to record his or her vote differently. The next item before the board is a resolution of ratifying the written resolution approving the removal of the staff of the Internal Audit Department of the Governor's Office on Recovery, and Emily is here to present that.
So we're just ratifying.
Yeah.
So you guys know that discussed this over email.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So then we will just using the first and second previously entered for the audit committee. Is there a motion to approve the resolution? That was the written resolution ratifying.
I'll move it. Yep.
Thank you. So second. Okay. So then the next issue before the board is resolution approving the appointment of a new member of the Internal Audit Department of the Governor's Office on Storm Recovery.
So we've provided the resume. So we've posted for the job. We received dozens of resumes. We interviewed 3 candidates, and we've selected for recommendation David Price. So many years of audit experience. He's currently head of internal audit at the New York City EDC. He remains interested in the job. I would love to get him approved and make an offer as soon as possible.
All right. So if there are no questions from the board, assuming the first and second previously entered for the audit committee, all in favor, please say aye.
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 The motion is approved and the resolution adopted. The next item before the board is a resolution approving the entry of a contract with CASO Document Management. Ed?
Yes, and my team has been working with this for over a year and a half now, led by Jose, Grace, and Christopher. They will do the presentation on this in case he's here from CASO, in case there's any other questions.
Okay, HTFC and DHCR currently hold about 9 million pages of on-site records at the Beaver Street offices. In anticipation of the Beaver Street office relocation to 641 Lexington, it's imperative that HTFC implement a turnkey electronic records management system and scanning project similar to the one that took place at 641 Lexington to minimize moving costs and promote a modern workspace, right? Having worked with the HFA executives and management team as well as the unit liaisons, it proved very successful in allowing us to move here to 415 Madison. And so now we're looking to replicate the success that we had with the facilities team CASO and the team out at Beaver Street to replicate the success. Grace has details.
So back in November of 2017, the agency selected CASO from 9 proposals as part of an RFP for the HFA Suddenly Turnkey Records Management Solution. The contract allowed a provision to opt into a separate contract with HTFC with the successful proposer, which was CASO. And the project's been going well. 8.5 million images scanned to date. The offsite is the on-site back file is very nearly complete. We're continuing with the off-site and the ongoing scanning, and we expect that CASO will be able to offer the same sort of superior level of service to HTFC. So on March 8th, we issued a request for an SOW to CASO. This was also sent to the DHCR records manager, Rachel Yardon, as well as ITS for their review. And ITS relayed their concerns, all of which were addressed to their satisfaction, and they indicated that we could proceed independently without further input from them. So as a result,
both the facilities team and the DHCR records manager both reviewed CASO's from response to the SOW request and found it to be satisfactory. With that being said, we'll have an anticipated start date for this project of Monday, April 15th, with a completion date of December 31st, 2019.
That's after we co-locate them.
Yes.
Yes. So at this point,
They'll continue to be there on site scanning after we vacate the space
At 3:45.
yes, at 3:45.
at 3:40.
But everything from downtown will be shifted to 345?
Yes.
Yes.
Where the park areas where IT is.
That's
So
right.
it's currently. Sorry,
Exactly.
go
Go ahead. You're exactly right. Go ahead.
But you can say.
I'm sorry. CASO, the CASO team is actually situated at 345 Park Avenue with our IT team right now. That's where they're doing a lot of work, and that's where it will continue.
So they
So they'll
take,
do all the scanning that's necessary to get us out of 25 Beaver Street before we have to get out of 25 Beaver
Okay,
Street.
right.
Exactly.
And then they'll finish.
they'll just take
subsequent
stuff in
documents.
boxes to 3:45 and do the rest of the work there or something.
Correct.
And what were just briefly the concerns that ITS had? What was the nature of the concern?
There were just security issues and various IT issues related, and the way that we've set up the project, we can circumvent having them to get involved in the process when doing two-factor authentication, as opposed to working the system that we currently have in place. They were totally satisfied with our solution, and they provided us the ability to go ahead forward with the project, and without having to involve them.
So is what we're
it's
doing with on the second phase different than what we did on the public authority phase?
just slightly in the sense of authenticating the system, have dual-factor authentication that we can go in on the internet, as
It's
opposed to
actually direct access.
right direct access. And so it's just a little bit simpler, but again, the process should be the same, and the way we access and image silo will be the same. Again, Casey, you could probably answer these questions a lot better in detail than I can, but again, we should have a satisfactory result as well.
But it's the same type of system that we're putting here. It's going to be the same system that we're putting there.
So
at
the
Beaver Street.
additional bells and whistles that are coming as a result of the double whatever authentication are going to be now applied to the work that's still being done with the public authorities?
Correct.
So that it's all the same?
Correct. So basically, at this time, what we're asking is to enter a contract with an amount not to exceed $2 million for a 3-year period, with an option for another 2 after that.
How much are we paying them for the public authority?
Up
You know
to
that
7
number?
million, I think.
Yeah.
6.97.
A lot of shows, Casey.
But,
No,
we,
they did a great.
but we are way on the budget on that number and way ahead of schedule on that number as well.
They've done a great job,
Yes.
you know, as you guys, they worked with, I mean, Ruth Ann knows, but for the record, they've done a terrific job getting everything ready before we moved. And their availability on site is great, so your team is very good.
And I just want to clarify, there aren't really any extra bells and whistles. It's just the method they're logging in is slightly different.
Okay, I just wanted to.
If the nature of your question is, were there recommendations that ITS
That we
provided
should have-
that we should have done?
Correct.
I wouldn't worry about that.
Okay.
Right.
They were specific to what we needed to do in order to be compliant with the current state IT structure, but it wasn't increased security. It wasn't an
Right.
I wouldn't worry about the method
Yeah,
that
that's
was.
what
We
I was
had our
getting
own IT team here. We had to go to ITS for that piece of it, so.
Okay, that's what I was getting.
They didn't want to duplicate the effort. They were totally satisfied with what we have done here.
Okay, good. Okay.
We're good.
All right?
All right, and now before the board for approval is a resolution approving entry into a contract with CASO Document Management, Inc., assuming the first and second previously entered for the board. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion is carried and the resolution adopted. Next for consideration is a resolution authorizing the administration of HUD Choice Voucher Section 8 program for the town of Jay in Essex County.
Yes.
Jay, that's a new one.
So the town of Jay, their administrator is retiring, and they reached out to HUD the end of last year requesting a transfer of the program. And so HUD reached out to us, asked us if we would then administer the vouchers and take over for them. And that's what brought us to this point. It's a small program. It's only, and I did want to mention that on the resolution, it does have that it's 47 units, but I just want to clarify it's 42. So it's a very small
It's just
program.
one building? It says it's, 47 units, sorry, that doesn't mean one building. Okay,
Yep,
it's
so-
47 vouchers.
And
Where is Jay?
town of Essex. It's in Essex County, upstate, way upstate New
Slightly
York.
helps me. I'll go to my friend's Google Map. Okay, sorry, keep going.
And so they have asked us to come in and administer the vouchers. And again, small program, they don't have a local preference, so the issues that we ran into with Eastchester, we will not experience that with this program. And if there's any other questions, I can answer.
There's an upper
New York doesn't
J.
even come up on my map.
No, there's an upper J and
There it is. An upper J and a lower J?
apparently.
That's a little too,
Oh wow.
yeah.
It's off. It looks like it's off of 87, like just south of Plattsburgh,
Oh, yeah.
just west of the lake.
Okay. Do we get a local? Do we eventually try to find someone else to like be the local administrator, or we would just absorb?
We would
this?
absorb them.
And okay. Okay. Seems fine. to me.
Just outside of Lake Placid is, I think, a better marker. All right. There are no other questions, and assuming the first and second previously entered for the board, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Yes.
Next for consideration is a resolution authorizing funds under the Community Development Block Grant Program for Economic Development in the Village of Panyan for Parker's Grill
We've done other stuff
in Panyan, right?
Yeah.
Good afternoon. The Village of Penn is requesting $226,000 in CDBG economic development funds to assist Parker's Grill in Penn Yan for furniture, fixtures, and equipment. It should be noted the board approved a project for Parker's Grill in November or December of 2018, and the village had to withdraw because one of their funding sources fell through, and they were able to come back and get things secure now. So this is not additional money to Penn Yan for the same project, but they just came back in. They're proposing to renovate a 3-story 1880s commercial building on Main Street and put in a storefront with a restaurant and outdoor seating. The total project cost will be $570,000, and they will create 28 full-time equivalent jobs over the 2 years, with 86% of them to benefit low to moderate income individuals. CDBG funds will be used for furniture, fixtures, and equipment, and the cost per job is just over $8,000 per job, and each dollar will leverage $1.52 in private investment. We're requesting recommendation resolution to provide CDBG funds to the Village of Penn Yan for Parker's Grill.
If there,
Looks good. Is anybody eating there?
Nope.
if there are no questions, then now before the board is a resolution authorizing funds under the Community Development Block Grant Program for Economic Development to the Village of Panyan for Parker's Grill. Assuming the first and second previously entered, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Next up for consideration is an award under the Community Development Block Grant Program for Economic Development to the Village of Whitehall for Rail Yard Tap Room.
Okay. So this one's up near the town of Jay. Whitehall has requested $102,000 in CDBG economic development funds. It's called Roma. They're doing business as the Rail Yard Tap Room, and I believe their sign is going to say the Rail Yard on it. So there are a couple different names there, but it's the Roma of Whitehall doing business as the Rail Yard Tap Room for furniture, fixtures, and equipment. This has been a staple in the Village of Whitehall since the 40s, and it recently went vacant. And so 5 families have combined their incomes and sources of funding to bring it back open. And so they'll have an all-new menu and help promote the sense of community within Whitehall that they've been missing since it went vacant. They're also looking to plan to provide educational support to the junior, senior high school in the area, kind of to help facilitate and improve the educational opportunities to the students there. So they're going to be working with their community as well as operating their restaurant, and it'll help the rail yard to create 10 full-time equivalents or 22 positions total over the 2 years. The proposed project cost is $271,000. Again, we'll create 10 full-time jobs over the 2 years, with 80% of them to benefit low to moderate income individuals. CDBG funds will be used for furniture, fixture, and equipment, and the cost per job is $10,200, leveraging $1.66 in private investment for each CDBG dollar. And we're requesting a recommendation resolution to provide economic development funds to Village Whitehall for Roma or the rail yard.
If there are no questions, then now before the board is resolution authorizing an award under the Community Development Block Grant Program for Economic Development for the Village of Whitehall for rail yard tap room. I apologize. Assuming the first and second previously entered for the board, all in favor, please say aye.
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 The motion is carried and the resolution adopted. Next up for consideration is award under the Community Development Block Grant Program for the City of Olean.
Okay, the city of Olean is requesting requesting $416,000 for an ED funds to assist the HK Olean or doing business as the Hampton Inn with the purchase of furniture, fixtures, and equipment to operate the new 90-room inn. It's this site. This project is on a 60-acre site, which was formerly owned by ExxonMobil and was designated as part of the state brownfield cleanup program. Now remediation is all complete, and this is the first development on the former brownfield site. It's expected to leverage additional retail and office development on the adjacent pieces of that 60 acres as this hotel is the anchor. The proposed total project cost is $13.46 million and is going to create 72 full-time equivalent jobs over the 2 years to benefit low to moderate income persons. CDBG funds will be used for furniture, fixtures, and equipment, and the cost per job is $14,345, with leveraging $3136 in private investment. Requesting a recommendation resolution to provide ED funds to the City of Olean to help the HK Olean Hotel for the Hampton Inn.
I have two questions. One, the memo says 29 jobs. Oh, I liked your number better.
Yeah, so at the top, the public benefit, it's 72, and I apologize for that.
That's good. Well, I like that better than 29.
I do too.
That's good. And how do I would have not thought that like Hampton Inn needed our money. They seem like they do pretty well building playthings all over the place. How do we feel about that?
Right, so it's not the corporate, it's a franchise of the Hampton Inn, so they are offered the template of the building from corporate, and then are required to come up with their own funding for each individual site.
Gotcha. Okay. And I guess this is a way for the city to attract them to their site, to their location.
That's correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
If there are no other questions, now before the board is resolution authorizing an award under the Community Development Block Grant Program for Economic Development to the City of Olean for HK Olean Hotel LLC. Assuming the first and second previously entered for the board, all in favor, please say aye.
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 The motion is carried and the resolution adopted. Next before the board for consideration is the consolidation of awards for home headquarters.
Sorry, I had them in the wrong order.
I apologize.
This is one. So we're requesting to combine two previously awarded projects to home headquarters into one project under one SHARS ID. Home headquarters received a Home CERTI award in April of 2018 for $2.31 million, and a Home Local award in March of 2017 for $750,000. So in an attempt to streamline these awards for both project management and timely expenditure of funds, we're proposing to combine them. While one project number will increase in award amount, the total amount awarded does not change. It's just we're combining them into one project. So we're requesting a resolution to merge these two awards into one contract for home headquarters.
You try to be efficient.
Yes.
A little, yes.
All right, if there are no questions, then now before the board is resolution authorizing the consolidation of awards for home headquarters. Assuming the first and second previously entered for the board, all in favor, please say aye.
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 The motion is carried and the resolution adopted. Now for consideration before the board is an increase to the New York Main Street Technical Assistance Contract for MARC projects.
So we're recommending an increase of $20,000 to an existing New York Main Street Technical Assistance project. The MARC project was awarded $19,000 under the TA program in April of 2018 to develop a study in architectural renderings for the Fleischman's Theater in Delaware County. The MARC project has submitted a request for $20,000 in additional funding to support engineering and architectural studies for a project in another historic property in Roxbury, also in Delaware County. So we're requesting a recommendation resolution to increase the existing New York Main Street Technical Assistance Project by $20,000 to a total of $39,000.
Why do they need? Oh, because they've got to do more work than they thought. Why they need more?
Right, and it's kind of a second site as part of the same project under the TA program.
Okay.
All right, if there are no questions, now before the board is a resolution authorizing an increase to the New York Main Street Technical Assistance Contract for MARC Project, Inc., assuming the first and second previously entered for the board. All in favor, please say aye.
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 The motion is carried and the resolution adopted. Now before the board for consideration is an award under the Rural and Urban Community Investment Funds for Ingersoll Senior Residents.
Good afternoon. I'm here today to request a Community Investment Fund Program award of up to $1 million for the build-out of community facility space at Ingersoll Senior Residences, which is an affordable senior housing development in the Fort Greene section of Brooklyn. The community facility space will be used as a senior center leased and operated by SAGE, which stands for Services and Advocacy for Gay, Lesbian, Bisexual, and Transgender Elders. The SAGE Center will be a full-service community center that will deliver services to support lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender or LGBT seniors and elders from Ingersoll Senior Residences and the local community. The services will include an on-site care management and social services, congregate meals, cultural programs, educational, vocational workshops and training programs, access to health care and counseling, health, wellness, and nutrition classes, and peer support. As I mentioned, the SAGE Center will be managed and operated by SAGE, which is a nonprofit organization founded in 1978, which is dedicated to improving the lives of LGBT seniors. The SAGE Center will be an open space that's fully accessible to elderly persons, and that it provides wide circulation and assembly areas in a nearly barrier-free layout. The space will include 6 program rooms with flexible walls, which will enable the space to be divisible into several rooms and various configurations to allow for flexibility of the space's use. It will contain a cyber center, 3 program offices, a staff lounge, full-service commercial-grade kitchen, numerous full ADA bathrooms, and 2 exterior patios. The center will be about 6,800 square feet and is a part of Ingersoll Senior Residences, which is being developed by BFC Partners. Again, we're today just asking for a CIF award for the non-residential space, but to give you a little bit of background about the residential portion of the project, which is associated. Ingersoll will be an LGBT welcoming housing project that provides 146 units that are set aside for seniors at least 62 and older at or below 60% of AMI. There's an error in the board memo. It references 80%. It's actually 60%. And 1/4 of them are set aside for formerly homeless. The total cost of the build-out at SAGE Center beyond the vanilla box is expected to be $2.6 million, with the $1 million financed by SIF, which we're requesting today, and the balance being financed by a private grant from the Weinberg Foundation.
What's a cyber center?
It's a room with computers and that exactly. So to provide people, internet access, ability to access computer facility services that they might otherwise not have.
Bless. Thank you.
Bless you. Well, that's good.
All right, if there are no questions, then now before the board for approval is a resolution approving an award under the Rural and Urban Community Investment Funds for Ingersoll Senior Residents. Assuming the first and second previously entered for the board, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion is carried and the resolution adopted. Now for consideration is an award under the Rural and Urban Community Investment Funds for WNY Rural Preservation, the C3PO project.
Indeed. I'm here to present the West New York Rural Preservation C3PO project. This project has been previously approved by the HFA board for $12.5 million of multifamily preservation funds. We're here today to ask for an up to $12.5 million in SIF. We are going to try to redistribute some of the MPP funds, so we'll need some sliver of the SIF funds for this project. This project, the funds will use will be used to fund a scatter site acquisition and rehab to reserve 210 units of family and senior housing within the USDA rural development portfolio. There are 18 buildings across 9 sites in 3 counties in the southern tier: Wyoming, Steuben, and Cattaraugus. 206 of the 210 units are set aside for those earning less than 60% of the AMI, and the rest below 80. 198 units will benefit from RAP subsidy through DHCR, and 12 from the USDA rental system assistance. Buildings are slab on grade, and they'll be going through roof, siding, exterior, interior replacement, kitchens, etc. One of the buildings at Portville Square will also be recipient of the NYSERDA retrofit funds to get all wrapped in and be energy efficient. Conifer is the developer and general partner of this project. They're doing it with a joint venture with Providence House, a Rochester-based nonprofit. And then, if you can see from the underwriting, there's existing USDA and HTFC debt that's just being restated. This project is slightly delayed. We've been waiting for USDA to reignite after the federal shutdown, so it's still lagging, but that lag has helped us think about how to reallocate some resources at the agency. So hopefully we'll close this in the next 4 weeks.
So it's an ACK rehab, but it's obviously just like a related party, like ACK
Right.
rehab, and they're doing
Nothing-
Slick plus
Right, this
TIF.
was-
That's their 2.
And they have a construction loan from M&T.
Construction loan. Okay.
Right. Right. This was the.
I know it is.
You saw
I
it.
just didn't see that. I was looking for the stack, so I was just trying to see what it was. Okay,
Right.
that's cool. So
Right.
it's
This was the
M&T.
one where we did slick and subsidy and no perm debt, and we structured it this way initially to save volume cap.
Yeah.
But here we are today trying to redistribute subsidy sources. So
Looks good.
And the, the environmental stuff, Leora?
no, it's all been dealt with.
All been dealt with?
We yes, we revised the HFA board memo for the HTFC board memo. So if there's something, there's nothing outstanding. It's been signed off by EAU.
I just said it talks about a site for gasoline impacted soils from 2 leaking, blah, blah, blah.
Right, that probably could have been slightly more fine-tuned for the memo, but we have EAU sign off.
Okay.
So I apologize for being a little long, but the bottom line is we have EAU sign off to close. We're just waiting for USDA to finish their process.
Okay.
All right, if there are no questions, then now before the board is resolution approving an award under the Rural and Urban Investment Funds for WNY Rural Preservation. Assuming the first and second previously entered, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried and the resolution adopted. Now for consideration is an increase in a home award to Tremont Crossing. Sean?
Good afternoon, everyone. Presented for your consideration is a resolution authorizing a home award increase for Chemung Crossing, a new construction and historic rehabilitation project within the city of Elmira's downtown revitalization zone. Originally awarded by HCR in spring of 2016, the project experienced unforeseen cost increases related to Davis-Bacon compliance and to an unforeseen structural issue in the historic rehabilitation component of the project. Consistent with HCR's funding increase policy, the project sponsor and general contractor, Housing Visions Unlimited out of Syracuse, have reduced their developer fee and their builder's profit to cover 50% of these cost increases. The project is currently nearing completion, with rent-up having already begun on one of the buildings in the project. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to take them at this time.
This looks pretty straightforward.
All right. Then now before the board is a resolution authorizing an increase in a home award to Tremont Crossings. Assuming the first and second previously entered for the board, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried and the resolution adopted. The remainder of the items are informational items and do not require board action. Review of the secret Type 2 projects, review of the secret concur summaries, review the authorized contracts under GOSER, review of the secret determinations of the Governor's Office of Storm Recovery, and the review of a memorandum of agreement with Natural Heritage Trust. Are there any remaining questions? If there is none, may I have a motion and a second to adjourn the meetings of the Audit and Governance Committee?
Motion.
So moved.
Thank
Second.
you. Thank you. And a motion and a second to adjourn the board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, the board meetings and the governance and audit committee meetings, as well as the meeting of the HTFC boards, will now be adjourned. The next meeting is scheduled for May 9th, 2019. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.